Today on Outside the Box Reviews, Predator Week is back yet again. And today we're looking at the NECA Predator Wave 8. And this is Jungle Extraction Dutch. One great thing about NECA lately is how much they've been really trying to get stuff out for their fans, the people who want to see specific characters made, and it's really exciting that we finally got to Dutch. Kyle Reese coming out in the Terminator line was something that a lot of people were looking forward to, but come on, this is the one that we really wanted. And I am so excited to finally have this guy in hand. So I'm not even going to mess around on this one. Let's get right to the choppa and take a close look at Dutch. So the first accessory we get with Dutch is his M16 rifle with grenade launcher. It's a very nicely done weapon here. Has some great sculpting detail, and one of the things that we haven't gotten a lot of on NECA weapons in the past, some paint detail. There's actually some great dry brushing on there of scuffed metal over the black plastic that this thing's made out of, which is really great, because that's something I really disliked in a lot of the Terminator figures, that the weapons didn't look real. They just looked like plastic. This looks like a real weapon. Just great detailing all over it, really well done. And then we have this soft rubber strap here at the bottom that actually is very pliable, very soft rubber. It has some good detailing. It has the little buckle here in the back and the loops that go over the gun. Now it feels like it could be a little fragile, so it's something that I would suggest taking care with as you use it, but still an amazingly done piece, really awesome. Definitely digging this weapon here. If you look over on Dutch's side here, we have his holster with his pistol inside. The holster actually has a working peg. You could unpeg the strap on there and then pull out the gun. And here we have another well-detailed little weapon. Very nicely done, very cool looking, a lot of paint detail, a lot of sculpting detail, just like the larger weapon. Now, one gripe I have with this is it's a very thick gun. It has a hard time fitting in his hand really easily, which is a bit of a bummer. Dutch will hold that rifle with no problem, but you really have to stretch his hand out to get it around this gun, which feels like it's going to eventually damage the figure if you swap him out too much, so something to be wary of. But still looks really good, and he holds it well. Going around Dutch's belt, he has his little survival knife here. You can pull it out. Nice sharp looking little blade, black handle, not a ton of detail on it, but doesn't really need it. Well executed, and it looks pretty cool. But you know what? This isn't really a knife. This is a knife. Wait, that's the wrong movie. Sorry. But yeah, this is his machete. Really cool looking. I love the curved handle on it. Once again, no real wear and tear on it, but some good paint detailing nonetheless, and it looks just phenomenal. Now with the small knife, he doesn't really hold it too well. You kind of just have to place it in his hand and let it rest against his fingers. But he can hold it, and if you're careful, you can get him into some poses with it. Machete, though, he holds really well, and you can really get some good poses with it. It looks really phenomenal in his hand. So 3 out of the 4 weapons fit in his hand just fine, so not a big deal. And the best part is, he can carry all of his weapons when not in use. He has holsters for 3 of them, and then you could sling the rifle over his shoulder, which is just awesome. But the real prize of this figure is the sculpt on it. NECA has stepped up their game to an insane level. This Dutch is the best Arnold Schwarzenegger sculpt they've ever done. And it is purely phenomenal, the amount of detail they crammed into this figure. And beyond that, on the flesh tones, they used a translucent plastic that they've used on some of the other figures. They've used it on Rocky, and they used it on one of the figures that made my worst list of 2012, the Dream Child Freddy Krueger figure. Now with Freddy, it didn't seem to fit. It didn't look like the latex used in the movie, and it didn't fit in with any other figure in the line. This Dutch, seeing as he's the first human in NECA's line here, it works phenomenally with him. I mean, take a look at that head sculpt. That looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger just jumped off the movie screen and is staring you in the face. The translucent quality to the plastic causes him to look sweaty, which makes him look all the more real, but the areas where it's painted take on a more standard flat painted tone so that we get the hair looking like it's normal hair and not having a weird translucent sheen to it. Same with the stogie in his mouth. his eyes look pretty good. They must have done more of a wash with the painted camo stripes on his face because they still maintain a slight translucence to him. Just an amazing, amazing job. The stubble they've got on his chin, just the expression on his face works perfectly for Arnold. I can't say enough good things about this head sculpt. It looks so real. A lot of times on these reviews, I'll make the comparison between NECA and Hot Toys. I think I've defended this stance before in saying that NECA is basically the retail-friendly version of Hot Toys. They're less expensive to make, less expensive to sell, but it really is becoming more and more clear with these figures how much work and how much detail NECA puts in. It's so outstanding, and really I feel like the comparison is apt to make between this and Hot Toys. If you look down on the neck, he has great detailing in there too. It's dirty but still skin tone looking, all the right wrinkles and muscles and veins are in there. Just outstanding work. Onto his shirt. Now this is a weird series we're going to get here with Dutch because as the figures go on, Dutch is basically going to be stripping. We have 2 Dutch figures in this wave, and then the other 2 coming in the next wave are even going to be more undressed. But this is the fully dressed up Jungle Extraction version from when they first get into the jungle, when they're going to take out the camp there in whatever unnamed jungle that is. He's got his khaki shirt on and his brown vest this time. Great detail on both. The sculpting on it looks great, showing all the wrinkles and all the folds, all the pockets. A lot of nice dry brushing effects on that vest. He's got his 2 little grenades hanging on there. Really cool looking. Turn him around, we have the straps in the vest. I like that NECA went asymmetrical with it. It looks more real, like he's actually wearing it. And the one thing Dutch suffers from with all this is looking a little awkward in the sideways view. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a big guy back in the 80s. He was really, really built, top of his game there. But it looks like he has kind of a hunchback going on. I would think it'd be more of a large chest on the man than a back protruding out. But I could be wrong on that one. He has his fingerless gloved hands here with his really well detailed gloves. The skin on it is still that translucent plastic, though it doesn't appear to be up on his arms where you see it sticking out of the sleeve, though it still looks good, but the fingers still appear to be the translucent plastic. This hand's meant to be the supporting hand for his big rifle. You can almost get a thumbs up out of it, or even like a taunting gesture, like, come get me. He's got his watch detailed on here, which is really awesome looking, really great attention to detail. We have his belt, which is a soft rubber piece, which is actually kind of free floating on there. Of course, the holster I already talked about. For his gun, we have a place for the clip back there, which is not removable or anything, but it is there. The sheath for the knife. He's got his straps around his legs on his camo pants. A lot of great wrinkle detail, just like the shirt. He's got his machete holder. Now, one thing that was in the prototype that doesn't come out here, and I looked at a couple of these figures, and none of them seem to have it. He has the straps sculpted for the machete, but they're not painted black like they should be, which is a little disappointing. I guess I could go in and do that myself if I really wanted to, but it is a missing detail. His boots look great, just really realistic, really high detailed. I absolutely love them. And they did get sculpting detail on the bottom as well. Articulation's another area where this figure really shines. He has a great ball jointed neck, look really far up, pretty far down, side to side, everything you'd expect from a good ball joint. Pin socket shoulders, doesn't go up as far as I'd like it to, but a good amount. Forward, back, bends a great amount at his elbow, will swivel, ball jointed at the wrist. As with a lot of NECA's figures lately, he has that rubberized plastic over his torso for his clothes. So you actually do have a mid-torso crunch ball joint up in there with great articulation. Also a swivel cut waist. Speaking of things NECA's been doing lately, he also has the kind of diapery soft rubber around his butt here. Unfortunately, mine seems to like to pucker in on the side and get stuck beneath the leg joint, which is a little annoying. Then he has his ball jointed hips. You can go forward and back, out to the side, swivel at the upper thigh, bend and swivel at the knee. It's hard to do, but he can rotate at the ankle. He has a ball joint at his foot, so you can get forward, back, pivot it, turn it side to side, all different directions. The 2 joints there at the ankle make a huge difference in poseability and looks of this figure, and I really, really do love that it's there. And I just want to show Dutch next to his other form here, the T800 from Terminator. Now, this is one of the most recently released T800 figures from NECA. And while it is a battle damaged one, so it's probably not the best example, you could see the night and day difference. This one looks good, but it's nothing great. The likeness is in there, but it kind of looks like Arnold, it kind of looks like a puppet. This new Dutch figure is just hands down a superior Arnold sculpt and just a huge leap forward for NECA. It almost makes me wish they would go and start the Terminator line back over from the beginning and just give us all this new style of Arnold, this new look, this new translucent plastic, this new level of articulation, this new level of detail, everything. I love these Terminator figures. I've collected so many of them, but holy cow, is this new Dutch cool. So as of the recording of this video, I have to say this is the definitive Arnold Schwarzenegger 7-inch scale figure. Holy cow, did NECA do a great job with it. And I know I sound like a broken record on this one, but they have blown me away with the amount of detail they have crammed into Dutch. I said on my review of the Marvel Select Venom that figure was going to be an early candidate for my list of best figures of 2013. Well, this Dutch figure is right up there with it. This is the highest of recommends I can give an action figure. Probably one of the best things NECA's ever put out. It looks so real, it has so much detail, and there's so many accessories, and well done accessories at that. By all means, you see this Dutch sitting on the shelves, pick him up. He is totally worth it. Just an astounding figure overall, and a great addition to the Predator line. Speaking of which, we got one more Dutch figure to go for this line. I'm forgoing the Predator from this series for now. You know me, I'll probably go back and pick it up eventually just because I want that extra hip articulation on my masked Predator. Even though I already have a good masked Predator figure, but you know, such is the obsession, I guess. But I will be covering the other Dutch, the Jungle Patrol Dutch, next time here on Predator Week. So make sure you check out Outside the Box Reviews on Facebook. A link in the bottom bar. And until next time, get to the chopper!